You are standing at the harbor of Ur in the year 2100 BC. Behind you, the Euphrates River curves slowly through the land, carrying with it silt the color of clay. Flat-bottomed boats rock gently against wooden docks, loaded with timber, copper, and precious stones from lands you have never seen. The air smells of wet mud and drying reeds. Workers shout in languages from distant regions. Merchants press seals into clay. You are not looking at ruins. You are looking at the beginning of civilization as we understand it. Not the largest city, not the most violent empire, not the most powerful army, but something more important happened here. Here, memory became permanent. Part 1. Controlling water, controlling destiny.
Flows well
to understand Ur,
yes, the fields
you
will
must
thrive.
understand
Our work
water.
sustains us.
To understand Ur, you must understand water. Canals branch from the Euphrates in geometric precision.
They survived. But here, something changed. Canals branch from the Euphrates, geometric precision. This is not random digging by farmers. This is engineering. Calculated, measured, maintained. Water is diverted, distributed, controlled. And when humans control water, they control food. When they control food, they control survival. And when they control survival, they create power. This irrigation system made large-scale settlement possible. Thousands could now live in one place, year after year. Permanence had begun. Part 2. The city as an organism. Walk inland. Ur reveals itself not as chaos, but as intention. Main avenues curve with drainage planning. Houses near the river are large, built from baked brick. Farther inward, homes cluster tightly, arranged around courtyards. Mud brick walls hold the day's heat. Narrow streets trap shadows. People live layered upon people. This is not a temporary camp. This is urban life designed for permanence. Part 3. Trade without borders. The harbor district hums with activity. Merchants from the Indus Valley maintain warehouses here. Traders arrive from Anatolia. Cedarwood from Lebanon fills the air with scent. Lapis lazuli from Afghanistan glows deep blue in the sunlight. Ur is not isolated. It is connected. But something makes this trade different. Every transaction is recorded. A merchant does not simply exchange goods. He receives proof. A clay tablet stamped with cylinder seals. This tablet is archived. And this changes everything. Part 4. The birth of writing. In the beginning, marks in clay represented objects. Grain, sheep, jars. Over time, these pictographs evolved into abstract symbols, the system we call cuneiform. A reed stylus presses wedge-shaped marks into wet clay. These marks do not fade. They dry. They harden. They endure. For the first time in human history, what was said does not disappear. It can be reviewed. It can be verified. It can outlive the speaker. Writing creates institutional memory. And institutional memory creates civilization. Part 5. The ziggurat of Nanna. At the city's heart rises a monumental structure, the ziggurat of Ur. Its massive base stretches roughly 200 feet long. Stairways rise in tiers toward the sky. At its summit stands a shrine dedicated to the moon god Nanna. This is not merely architecture. This is theology made visible, a stairway between earth and heaven. Religion here is not private belief, it is institutional. The temple owns land, herds, workshops, breweries, bakeries, employs thousands. It records everything. Part 6. The temple economy. Bread bakes in temple ovens. Beer ferments in clay vats. Workers receive daily rations, 2 loaves and beer. Safer than water, enough to sustain labor. Every ration is recorded. Every allocation documented. The temple controls grain. The temple controls water. The temple controls employment. Power flows not from swords, but from administration. Part 7. Law becomes written. In Ur, contracts are not spoken promises. They are inscribed. A merchant selling grain records the amount, price, and payment terms. Both parties press their seals into clay. Witnesses observe. Copies are archived. If dispute arises, the tablet speaks. Law is no longer memory dependent. It is permanent. Categories of people are defined. Free person, commoner, slave, rights differ. Penalties differ. This may seem harsh, but it is structured, predictable. Writing transforms justice from personal authority into institutional process. Part 8. The scribes. In temple schools, young boys train for years. They memorize signs, practice geometry, calculate land areas, learn multiple languages. A skilled scribe is indispensable. He records labor allocations, legal decisions, religious rituals. He preserves truth, or shapes it. Because what is not written might as well not exist. The scribe becomes the guardian of reality. Part FW9, hierarchy and daily life. Is layered society made visible. Large compounds for elites, courtyard homes for merchants, modest dwellings for artisans, minimal shelter for laborers and slaves. Slavery exists through death, birth, or war. Some contracts specify years of service, others permanent bondage. Even this is recorded. The system is orderly, but it rests on dependence. Without grain distribution, survival fails. Without irrigation maintenance, famine comes. Without trade routes, prosperity collapses. Part X. Religion as legitimacy. Lunar calendar structures the year. Priests observe the moon's cycles, record its phases.
Partake, for it is blessed.
The high priest,
receive it with thanks.
the end,
Rise now, and let us
interprets omens. Before major decisions, divination rituals are performed, animal livers examined, signs
Let these
interpreted.
flames carry our prayers to
When the N announces a decision, it is not personal preference. It is divine order. To resist is to resist the cosmos itself. Part 201. The archive. In storage rooms within the temple complex lie thousands of tablets. Administrative, economic, legal, religious, literary. An entire society documented. This obsession with recording creates transparency and control. Documentation equals legitimacy, and legitimacy equals stability. But it also concentrates power in those who control writing. Part duodecim. Fragile assumptions and appears stable, but its survival depends on assumptions. That water continues to flow, that canals are maintained, that trade routes remain safe, that leaders remain legitimate, that the population accepts hierarchy. If any assumption fails, the system fractures. And fracture can mean collapse. Part Anatolia, the decline. Will not last forever. Stronger powers will rise, conquest will come, political independence will fade. But something irreversible has happened. The writing system survives. Administrative models spread. Legal traditions influence later codes. The idea that institutions, not individuals, govern society becomes permanent. May fall. Its innovation will not. Conclusion, the gift of clay. Stand again at the harbor at dusk. The ziggurat catches the last light. Merchants seal tablets. Scribes store records. Families eat evening bread. Children sleep beneath mud brick walls. They do not know they have changed history. They are simply recording grain, observing the moon, enforcing contracts. But from these quiet acts comes something extraordinary. The discovery that marks pressed into clay do not fade. That information can survive death. That law can outlive rulers. That the past can guide the future. This is where memory became permanent. This is where civilization learned to record itself. This is in 2100 BC. And from here, the future begins.